Hozat, co-chair of the Kurdistan Democratic Communities Union, has called for the immediate end of Abdullah Öcalan's isolation, arguing it obstructs peace efforts and violates international law. Tensions escalate in southeast Turkey's Siirt after the government removes elected Mayor Sofia Alagash, replacing her with a state-appointed trustee, sparking protests. A French delegation visiting North and East Syria has called for EU action against Turkish-backed attacks on the region, urging a no-fly zone and changes of policy. The United States has formally started its withdrawal from the Paris Climate Accord, fulfilling a key campaign pledge by Donald Trump. Tensions run high in the Kurdish-majority city of Siirt as Turkey's Interior Ministry removes the elected co-mayor, Sofia Alagash, just 24 hours after her conviction on terrorism charges. A trustee appointed by the government to replace Alagash entered the council building under heavy police escort early on Wednesday morning. Alagash, who was sentenced to 6 years and 3 months in prison by a Diyarbakır court, says the move was politically motivated. She and her supporters denounced the removal as an attack on democracy, part of a wider government crackdown on Kurdish political representation. Since 2016, dozens of mayors from the pro-Kurdish DEM party have been dismissed under similar accusations. Critics argue that this is an attempt to silence elected Kurdish officials. By dawn, security forces had already secured the municipality, preventing Alagash and other officials from entering. Alagash referred to past extrajudicial killings and disappearances, drawing parallels to Turkey's history of state repression in Kurdish regions.
Bizim zihnimiz diridir, diri. Bunu iyi bilin. Sizin faili meçhullerinizi biliyoruz. Navala kasaba, faili meçhulün Navala kasabasıdır. Kanın oluk akıttığı mezardır. Biz orayı biliyoruz. Bizim zihnimiz diridir. Bunu herkes iyi bilsin. Niyeti yığılmış buraya.
Her words resonated with protesters who accused the government of ignoring democratic processes and imposing rule by force. Despite the removal, Alagash vowed to challenge the decision in Turkey's constitutional court and, if necessary, at the European Court of Human Rights. International organizations, including Reporters Without Borders and the Council of Europe, have condemned Turkey's increasing use of anti-terror laws against journalists and politicians. With anger spilling onto the streets, residents of Siirt continue to protest, demanding their elected mayor be reinstated. For now, the government remains silent on the protests, but tensions are unlikely to subside. The isolation imposed on Abdullah Öcalan is a crime against humanity. With these words, Hozat, co-chair of the Kurdistan Democratic Communities Union, or KCK, directly challenged Turkey's ongoing policies towards the imprisoned Kurdish leader. Speaking on Medya TV, Hozat insisted that lifting Öcalan's isolation is not just a legal obligation, but a crucial step towards resolving the Kurdish question. Hozat drew historical comparisons, referencing Nelson Mandela's role in South Africa's peace process.
Mandela hangi süreçlerde rol oynadı? Güney Afrika'da çözüm süreci, barış süreci nasıl gelişti? Mandela'nın koşulları değiştirilerek buldu. Şimdi böyle birkaç görüşmeyle tecrit kaldırılmadan, Önder Apo'nun koşullarında hiçbir değişiklik yapmadan, özgür yaşam ve çalışma koşulları oluşturulmadan Önder Apo'dan çağrı bekleniyor, mesaj bekleniyor. Bu beklentiler yersiz.
She urged Turkish lawmakers to act, calling for a legal framework to ensure Öcalan's fundamental rights.
Dolayısıyla mecliste yasa çıkması gerekiyor. Tecritin kaldırıldığı resmileşmelidir.
International legal bodies, including the European Court of Human Rights, have condemned Turkey's treatment of Öcalan, with the Committee of Ministers pressing for urgent reforms.
Bunun yasası çıkarılmalıdır. Uluslararası hukuka göre
At this moment, with this isolation system, Turkey has trampled on international law, including the international treaties it has signed. It has disregarded them. This is a legal massacre.
As global scrutiny intensifies, Hozat's message is clear. Peace cannot be achieved while isolation persists. A French parliamentary delegation visited North and East Syria, or Rojava, on a fact-finding mission from 22nd to 28th January, coinciding with the 10th anniversary of the liberation of Kobani from ISIS. During their visit, they met with key Kurdish officials, including SDF commander Mazlum Abdi and AANES Foreign Affairs co-chair Ilham Ahmed, and visited facilities in Kamishli, Rakka, Kobani, and Hasaka. The delegation criticized the ongoing Turkish-backed attacks on civilian infrastructure, including the Tishreen Dam, describing them as war crimes targeting vital resources. They also visited the Al-Hol camp and called for the immediate repatriation of foreign nationals, especially children. Highlighting the progressive social model of AANES, which promotes gender equality and multi-ethnic coexistence, they urged France, the EU and NATO to take concrete steps, including the establishment of a no-fly zone, support for a decentralized Syria, and the removal of the PKK from the EU list of terrorist organizations. The United States has formally notified the United Nations of its withdrawal from the Paris Climate Agreement, fulfilling a key campaign promise by President Donald Trump. The move, which takes effect in January 2026, raises fears of weakened global climate efforts as temperatures continue to break records. UN spokesperson Stefan Dujarric confirmed that Washington submitted its withdrawal request on 27th January, marking a major shift in US climate policy. Trump argues the deal unfairly burdens American industries while allowing countries like China to pollute. The US will not sabotage its own industries, he said, as he signed the executive order. Environmentalists warn that the US, the world's second-largest polluter, exiting the pact could encourage other nations, including Argentina, to follow suit. With the next climate summit, COP30, set for 2025 in Brazil, global leaders will need to address the funding and leadership gap left by Washington's exit. Despite Trump's move, climate advocates hope US cities, states, and businesses will push forward with emissions cuts and renewable energy efforts.